Today on Fast Food Origins, we are going to talk about the origin of Raising Cane's. Let us know in the comments below what fast food restaurant origins you would like to know more about. So let's get right into it. Raising Cane's is probably a name you've heard of if you enjoy chicken fingers. Raising Cane's is committed to providing the best chicken fingers in town. And they've done it with style, going from modest beginnings to becoming a household name for chicken fingers across the country. Everyone may find something they enjoy at Raising Cane's, from the specialized chicken finger sauces to the tantalizing side dishes. Are you curious about the history of this restaurant? Continue watching to discover the background of Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers restaurant and how it started. Though it may not seem like the most obvious business move, the owners of Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers decided to go in that direction. In reality, there were only a few people working in the background when the first Raising Cane's restaurant in Louisiana debuted in 1996. Raising Cane's first restaurant was in Baton Rouge. The entrepreneur, Todd Graves, had the idea back in college to develop a restaurant that only serves chicken finger meals. Todd created a business plan to implement his vision and presented it to his professor. Ironically, his plan received the worst grade in the group. He was told by his lecturer that a chicken finger restaurant would never succeed in South Louisiana. Todd didn't give up though. He approached various bankers with his concept, but to no success. Todd persisted when most people would have given up and moved on. His persistence persisted. Todd chose to raise the money himself after numerous bankers rejected his idea, to work for an oil refinery. He relocated to California. From there, he relocated to Alaska to work in the hazardous industry of salmon fishing. Graves revealed in a 2013 interview that he formerly worked 90-hour weeks as a boilermaker and put in long hours at the oil refinery. He used to work 20-hour days on the board fishing for sockeye salmon before relocating to Alaska. When Graves had enough money saved up, he went back to Louisiana, obtained an SBA loan, and opened the restaurant. They didn't have a good name to begin with. Due to a friend who labeled everyone a Folly, the company proposal first went by the moniker Folly's Chicken Fingers, before changing to a few other titles. He fished for sockeye salmon, so when he got back from Alaska, he said, "Let's call it Sockeye's Chicken Fingers." Fortunately, a buddy intervened and warned them against it. Thanks be to God, Raising Cane, his dog, started to run around at that point. Someone suggested that you name it after your dog, Raising Cane, sometimes known as Cane. So he did. According to the legend, while he was remodeling the structure, his dog, Cane, would loiter outside the eatery. Graves' wife, Gwen, gave him a new yellow lab puppy for Christmas after the restaurant's namesake's amiable yellow lab passed away. On Highland Road in Baton Rouge, Raising Cane first started serving chicken fingers, and it still does. Midway through the 1990s, Todd and his small staff opened their doors at the entrance to Louisiana State University in a disused bakery. The bakery's logo, which served as inspiration for Raising Cane's emblem, was found to be painted on the wall during the building project. Every Raising Cane restaurant has the emblem plastered on a wall somewhere as though it were recently found because of this mural. With more than 500 locations worldwide, the initial location is known as the Mothership, which refers to the ship that started it all for Raising Cane. Raising Canes were popular immediately. On August 28, 1996, the Mothership, the first facility, opened its doors to clients who entered right away. That day, it stayed open until 3:30 a.m., and several days later, it continued to serve customers until then. Even if all of the locations shut down early today, the Mothership remains closed from Thursday through Saturday at 3:30 a.m. Raising Cane's has more than 500 locations throughout 5 different nations and 27 U.S. states. They've also won a ton of accolades. According to the website, Cane 2 has become a very well-known and popular dog and keeps busy with restaurant visits, community events, and is frequently with them in their restaurant support office. Cane 2 makes weekly trips to children's hospitals with Gwen as a trained pet therapy dog. Cane 2 undoubtedly contributed to the enormous success that has led to the Raising Cane's chain, despite the fact that the One Love idea was not inspired by a dog. There has been recent reports of adding Cane 3 making Raising Cane's family even larger. People have been interested in finding out more about the fast food franchise after Raising Cane's opened a new flagship restaurant in Chicago recently. Customers waited in line for hours at the downtown Chicago location to pick up their orders when the new store opened. Similar to the chain's inaugural launch in 1996, the opening in downtown Chicago was welcomed with an enthusiastic reception, and over 400 customers lined up outside the store on Michigan Avenue. Customers waited in line to sample the renowned Raising Cane's chicken fingers while wearing warm clothing and jackets to protect them from the cold weather. The irony is that nobody, not his business professor, his peers, or even the bankers who crunched numbers, believed the idea, yet it was an instant success. Raising Cane's actually took home a prize for having the most devoted customers at the 2018 Techonomic Consumers' Choice Awards. For more fast food restaurant origins, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified when new content is uploaded.